There's a lot of terms in the plumbing world that might sound like Greek to the average everyday person who owns a property or a home. So I want to take you through a couple of common terms that you may come across in your past or present or future if you've ever hired a local plumber or somebody like us at Royal Flush, so you have an idea of what it is that they're talking about. The first one is a vent stack. If you look at your roof or the roof of any building that you might own, you see a pipe that's sticking out of the roof. What this simply is accessing, allowing air to flow in behind the pipes in your house so they can properly drain through the main system. If you've ever heard the term, you need air behind water in order for it to flow, that's what this means. So that pipe sticking out of your roof is an air vent, which allows it to flow down and allows your water to flow properly. The second thing is a vertical stack. The vertical stack is usually somewhat connected or coinciding with your vent stack, and this is what is carrying water and sewage from your multiple floors of a property down to the basement or out of the property. So picture this. You have a 3-family home. There's a first, second, and third floor. There's a bathroom, a shower, a toilet, a sink on the third floor. Those have to be able to be brought down to the basement and head out of the home. The vertical stack is what's carrying all that water and waste from the third floor to the second floor to the first floor to the basement and out of the property. Third is a house trap. You've probably all seen and heard these words before. If you look underneath your sink, some people call it a P trap or an S trap. This is this gooseneck looking thing. This serves a major purpose and actually was invented back in the early 1900s. What this does is allows and prevents water, sewage gas, and really little animals and critters from climbing up into your pipes and heading back into the property. In modern day plumbing in terms, this really meant to prevent sewer gas from leaching back into the house and causing a really nasty smell. But in modern day plumbing, almost every single fixture has what we call a trap on it. Again, underneath the sink, your toilet, your shower drain, all fixtures should and would have these. And again, if you have a home that's built before 1970, it's probably on every single fixture. You've seen them before, but you maybe don't know the exact term for it. Fourth is gray or black water. What these are referring to is the water that's heading out of the home or the property after it's being used. Gray water refers to as anything that you simply touch with your body, your hands, or things that are being washed. So this refers to if a sink is being used, a shower, a washing machine, any water that is used in potentially getting dirty, that is now what's called gray water that is going down your pipes and heading out of the property either to a city sewer or a septic system. Black water is the water in a toilet. Think of nasty, dirty, disgusting water. That is referred to a lot of times as black water. Again, that is going to flow down your pipe, out of your toilet, into your city sewer or septic system. Gray water or black water, this is water that's being used or touched or really is not going to be allowed to be reused. 5 is what we call a hose bib. Again, 99% of properties have hose access, usually on the front or the back of the house. It's the springtime, you might be watering your lawn, planting your flowers. This is simply the connection on the outside of the house that you're going to turn, that you've probably turned 1,000 times. It's going to allow the water to connect to a hose, allow you to use and spray outside. Here at Royal Flush, we also use our own common lingo terms. If we have the opportunity to do a project with you, you might hear us talk about these specific items with yourself or while we're working on a project. So I want to review those with you and tell you what we mean when we're talking about these specific terms. The first is camera the line. This might sound and be very intuitive, but really what this means is us conducting a camera inspection on your specific pipe. The camera inspection allows us to take a look inside the pipe, diagnose any issues, uncover anything that's going on that might be causing a problem, getting some length and dimensions, and understanding the overall logistics of your pipe. This is probably the most crucial process and the first thing that we do in every project. So when we're talking about, hey, did we camera the line? Did you camera the line? What does the camera look like? This is what we're referring to, taking a look inside your pipe. Number 2 is descaling. What that means for us is cleaning and getting all the nasty stuff that's currently inside of the pipe that's probably causing a lot of your issues out of the pipe. We do this with a large machine called the coat, and we also refer this as to the chains. This is basically like a really fancy sander or chainsaw for inside of your pipe. Much like every construction project, we have to clean and prep that pipe before we do our lining process. These chains spin, go inside your pipe, remove all that nasty stuff, and allow us to take it out so we can move to the next step. Another process along with descaling we call is jetting or hydrojetting. Think of this as a really fancy pressure washer. When we descale, we're loosening up a lot of that nasty stuff that's inside your pipe. We have to go ahead and now get it out of the pipe. We use our hydrojetting equipment to do so. Again, think of it as a fancy pressure washer, or we're now washing that debris down the line to get it out of the pipe so it's all prepped and clean for us to do our lining project. The next term that we use a lot is shoot the liner. And what that means, this is the process of us impregnating our liner, loading it into our drum, filling it up with air, and physically shooting it or inserting it down the pipe. So if we're on the job and the guys are talking about, hey, we're going to shoot the liner, we're getting ready to shoot the liner, have we shot the liner? This is what we mean. This is the physical act of inserting our epoxy liner into your pipe. Next is cure the liner. What this refers to most of the time is our UV light curing system and the process of hardening or finishing the job at your project. So we've already shot the liner down the pipe. Now we need to cure it, which we do with our ultraviolet light technology. This is the process of hardening the liner inside your pipe and making sure it's got a permanent fix. Finally, last is reinstatements. I've described it in the past as kind of a fancy Dremel tool. What we're going to be doing is a lot of times in a pipe, there are what we call lateral connections or other pipes that connect into the pipe that we're lining. When we go ahead and insert our liner, we're going to temporarily cover up those connections. We need to make sure that we reinstate or buzz open that flow so you don't have any issues or backups in the future. This is a really fancy, high-tech tool. We're going to send it down the pipe, going to cut open a hole or what we call reinstate that lateral connection to ensure the flow is back in the pipe and the job is solved. Hopefully these terms and info helped you out. I know in the plumbing world, it can be confusing. A lot of people don't understand what's going on, but at the end of the day, these are some common terms that a local plumber or us at Royal Flush might be using. So hopefully you have a better understanding and you'll be more knowledgeable next time an issue arises.